All right, guys, welcome back. Today, what we're going to talk about is my end of the season Keyflower experiment and kind of my strategy going into Smurf Week, which is the week where all the lower people like rush through the ladder and just destroy people's dreams because they steal so many points. How my final few games have gone, and maybe my first C3 finish. We'll just have to see. So here's what's going on. We're currently at 2.8, which is not going to hold because we've got to hold it through Friday. So we know that's not going to hold, right? C3 cutoff is probably going to be mid 1720s, maybe 1730, based on the rate it's rising every day. It's about three-ish points. So what, 3 times 5 is 15. So yeah, maybe mid 1730s. But last season was the first C2 we ever got, and that was at 3.7. Now we're like, can we get C3? I don't know. I've played a few less matches. I never play, I don't know. I never play like 1,500 matches or whatever some people do. I just can't. But way more successful season for a variety of reasons. So I want to show you kind of what I've been doing. I want to show you the major changes I've made to help boost me up recently. I thought I was going to have to settle for C2, but I did kind of a rerun about a week ago, and it's been way more successful. So let's look at a couple recent matches. And we'll go through it. Also, why am I not playing? I've got 5 days left. I don't know. Something about the way the seasons end. I enjoy the drama of dropping out of your rank and popping back in and finishing that way. Like, I don't know. I could, in theory, play a lot and be safe based on having a positive win rate. But I don't know. I feel like somehow dropping to C2 will get me better matches in theory. Like, if I beat a C3, I get more points, so I bump back up higher. Maybe that's part of it, but I don't know. I like riding right on the line. That's just what I do, so it's weird. Okay, so let's look at some matches. What do we want to do here? So these are ranked matches, and then I did a whole bunch of testing in the noob lobby to really figure out what I'm doing. So let's do 5 matches, 3, 4, 5. So here's match against Kino 145. Here's the draft. I don't really remember if I win these or not, but let's try it. Oh yeah, I got a new toy. Forgot about that. This account, I swear. I got Lightning the other day and got Ileana, which is like, that's solid, you know? It's solid, solid, solid. Alright, so I have the Jogun more, which is ridiculous. I feel really confident going Yanhong Han into almost anything. And then now I can pick the Ileana as a second Resurger with Yanhong and Han. We're going to go ahead and pause it there. A second Resurger with Yanhong and Han that provides immunity, that provides invincibility, which, you know, if they're going to pick something like Erika, then I have a direct counter. And then what are they going to do? Are they going to let me directly counter their CC, especially if they have no stripper? Or are they going to let me have Yanhong and Han, which is really, really gross, especially when you combine it with Yanhong, Han, Jogun, and more. So you'll see the speed of the units has changed. I've boosted up both More and Jogun on Swift. They didn't used to be that way, but I think it's much more important. I've also switched Yanhong and Han. Yanhong used to be my fastest Swift unit at 316. Han used to be on Violent, and now he's on Swift. So what does that mean? One unit can proc Yanhong. Yanhong's the only unit on my team that can proc. So if they proc a couple times, Yanhong's probably going to proc. And her procs are impactful procs. They're either stripping or they're healing and boosting. I mean, it's good stuff. So we try to scroll trap, we miss. We do the buff anyway. And we find that Vanessa is super squishy, and so we just murder it. Han just murders stuff. And this Swift build, I think, hits a little harder and is tankier than my Violent build, and it's faster, so it cycles through turns better. So we boost up Han, and we go again. We get the stun. Glancing is not to be sniffed at. I love his skill 1. Jogun's skill 1's so good. I don't know how much longer we're going to get to keep Jogun, but it's so good. I don't know if this is winnable now at this point because I've got... Well, when the scroll trap actually goes off, you're in pretty good shape. I don't really have a damage dealer except Yanhong. Yanhong is back on damage, but the other 2 units aren't. Nice defense break for him with the heal block. Yanhong's taking some heat. Get the roll back. Oh, she's not doing great. She's dead. I think this might be a loss. Yeah, that's a loss. So we lost that one to Kino, 145. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's watch this one here. B, I feel like it's a legit player. I don't know. I feel like I've seen that somewhere. But we're just going to go through and kind of see what I'm doing, what my plan is, and then we'll talk about the runes a little more. So when people pick Ryu, I've been picking Jogun Gani into that because that's an immediate problem for them. Like, if I strip you and Gani you, what are you going to do? He picked a bunch of stuff that hits all my units. I picked Verd, and no Will. I'm more than happy to go no will into that stripper because it does nothing in that case. Don't know if I can win this one, but feeling pretty good about the no will. I'd save the seal or the scroll because I know there's a more impactful unit to scroll than a dark Wusa that's already used its skill. And then Han just murders people. That's one Han turn kills two things. He's going for speed, and it doesn't matter because he does not take the speed with his unit, the wounds that he meant to take the speed with. So Han's one turn kills two fast, not very tanky units. And what's neat about Han is that he's also very tanky. So he can take it and he can dish it out. All right, next one here. The drafts are basically all the same, which I know is not very exciting, but that's high-level RTA, I feel. Like, you need to know what you're drafting, you need it to be consistent, you need it to be on your best runes, and that's it. Like, there's not a lot of room for experimentation. You've got your best runes, you've got your setup, and you go. So same exact draft. He banned the... Who did he ban? Oh, he banned the Diana. I picked the Diana as the I give up on speed, which, I mean, I was not going to get speed anyway. And he's got a massive commitment to speed. 2 leads, the Triton, the Savannah there. I mean, he's got a lot going on. So he's doing all the horrible things, gets the double defense break, nukes me down. I missed the scroll trap, which is a bummer. I could give him a little more accuracy. He's in the mid high 70s, I think, so might need to work on that. But yeah, missing the trap is really quite bad for the Jogun. The Jogun's buffs, like, if you have Yanhong and Han and Jogun exists, it's really, really good. Because Han scales off of attack and speed, so it's like a double attack buff. Yanhong scales off of speed. I mean, it's just so good. Doesn't mean you're going to win every match. I mean, I've got a low 50s win rate, but Han dismounts in one shot. We're trying to kill this thing. Hanging in there. And then one boost on Han is just devastating, I feel. Every time it happens, I'm very, very happy. It's good news. And it's, I mean, Yanhong's procs are game-winning procs if you can get them. All right, so we're waiting to kill the Samoth till we can seal him so that he won't come back and do horrible things. And then we basically got it done here. And that's a match. Jogun didn't do much other than buff. Had Jogun scroll trapped, we would have been even more ahead. So my draft versus his draft, I mean, kind of devastating, you know? I feel like I won in the draft, and then I won on the field. And so what I'll go ahead and finish up. I'll go ahead and finish up all my my replays here, but I definitely want to talk about the overall concept and the way the account's playing. And if I'm not C3 this season, I think C3 next season is very, very achievable. So I'm going to shoot for that. And then maybe G1 at some point. I don't know if I'm quite there on the runes and grinds and stuff, but that's the eventual goal, right? Try to get up there into G1. All right, so we match speed leads. He gets the Gainy, I get the Sierra, and then I've got the Jogun there. Jogun goes first. We seal off. Get the boost. Yanhong goes next, and it's away to the races. Normally, I wouldn't waste a heal into a Han, but I felt like the Gainy was going to go next and was going to decrease all my attack bars, reset the heal anyway. Han would get a turn. I'd way rather Han have a turn right away and start wrecking. So that's just another option I have. And then the Yanhong Han just obliterate the Oki right away, which takes away his best pairing of the Gainy Oki. Takes away most of his control. So feeling really good there. And we're just doing our thing. Get the nice glance on his last damage dealer, the Jamire. And we basically devastated his team at this point. I mean, that Ken or whatever is doing everything he can, but, you know, there's only so much you can do when your whole team's gone. So these are actually ranked matches here, these last two. Because I had test. I mean, you see I test. There's nothing on this list that's not a test until these last couple of ranked matches, where I was like, okay, I feel good about this. I'm going to take it out into a real game environment and see how it fares. And these are not easy matches. These are G1 borderline players, and I'm C3 borderline at this point. So these are good tests, right? Good tests. So he bans the Gainy. I think that's probably the right call. It's the Gainy into his Tyrannus is a real problem. And And then the Ganny, Yanhong, Ganny Han, Ganny Jogun is all a problem because I could, in theory, double scroll, that sort of thing. But on the plus side, I get my double speed lead, double strip, and Yanhong Han. Like, the fact that I have the units now to force people to allow Yanhong Han through is insane. Because I can give my best 2 rune sets to those 2 units, and their skills are applicable everywhere. They're element neutral, and then their skills are just so devastating in most areas. You know what I mean? Like, it's like a Gianna or a Nephthys. They're just applicable everywhere. All they need is the right support around them. And if you can get them included because there's a bigger threat that's an elemental monster, you're good to go. So we get the strip. We miss the trap, which is a bummer. I probably need to work on that. I think I'd prefer a more accurate trap skill 2 and a less accurate strip skill 3, especially with the Jogun going after them more. If I ever get that combo, the trap, I gotta get that trap. I mean, I know that the Lulus are often 100% res, but I have enough accuracy that it should be more effective than what I'm seeing. All right, we missed the strip. So Yanhong tries to strip, she misses it, and we're like, fine. We've tried to strip this Okeanos 3 times. We've missed every single time, and so we just murder it and make him revive it, and then we'll kill it again, is the plan. We get the stun on the Lulu, thank goodness. He buys us another turn of no immunity. He gets the nice 3-turn defense break, which is so nice on Vigor. He revives the Okeanos. And we're like, we gotta kill this Okeanos. We're also trying to make the Tyrannus hopefully not kill by debuffing it a lot. I don't know if that's gonna work, but that's the plan. Okeanos almost dead, gets the heal. Oh, Han! Han gets murdered, which we did everything we could to keep him alive. That 3-turn defense break was just brutal. We boost up the Jogun here. We seal the Tyrannus. There we get the strip, and then Yanhong finishes off. So now we're feeling a lot better. We're only dealing with 2 healers. One's a quasi-damage dealer in the Vigor. They're not built to damage as much as they used to be, but they're still a threat. But we're feeling pretty good here. We've got the damage-dealing Yanhong, the additional damage more, and then the Jogun just messing with people's lives. So we're on Lulu. Not sure exactly why. Just picked Lulu. I don't know if that was the right call or not. Those are the little things in this game. Like, picking skills is generally not very complicated because, you know, your 3rd skill's on cooldown most of the time, your 2nd skill's on cooldown, it's just, okay. But who do I focus on? Who do I attack? Who's the greater threat between 2 similar threats? Like, Vigor and Lulu are similar, so what's the better target there? And that decision-making comes down to a variety of things. You know, what is likely to be squishier? How are they usually built? What are their speeds at usually? And in my mind, people will spend rolls on resistance in Lulu, which will make her a little bit squishier sometimes. It's not 100%, and there's no way to really evaluate it in match. But that's a consideration. You know, like Sierra and Juno are often good targets because their slot 4 is usually crit rate. Anything that's not built HP or defense HP can give you a little bit of an edge. So that's just things to consider. All right, so we're boosting up. We're boosting up to get out of this defense break. If we can take as many turns as possible to get out of this defense break, we're going to be in a lot better shape because we just can't have it. It's just devastating. And we're in on the Lulu. We're doing pretty good damage. We seal the Lulu this time, which that's not a great look because I have some damage on the Lulu. If that damage was on the Vigor and I sealed the Lulu, that's strictly better, right? So some sort of mistake on that part. My mentality must have shifted. I was like, okay, Lulu's the threat, put it away. That's not a great look. I could have done better there. And she manages to cycle enough to get enough turns, get a nice proc. We're in on the Vigor pretty good. Nice stun for him. But until he gets a defense break, we're not in much trouble. So we seal the Tyrannus this time. I don't know. There's no logic here. I guess I rethought I don't know. And I'm back on the Vigor trying to kill. Get the kill on the Yanhong because she scales amazing in the late game. Get Yanhong to late game. Good things happen. And now we're all in on the Lulu. We're going to seal that Tyrannus away for the end of time. And just try to kill it because she's not very threatening. Oh, missed the seal. But still got a buff. It cycles. It gives you speed. I mean, it's just good. We kill with 3 non-crits. Like, that's where we're at in this game. So he knows he can get really close to a kill. But without defense break, it's going to be tricky, especially with me cycling as fast as I am. Nice hit. Boost up. He's back. And the kill. So that is our 5th match there. So we went 4-1 over that little stretch. Our opponents were all pretty high. I mean, we lost to the 17-19, which is about our level. We beat an equal level 1706, and then we beat 3 borderline 1900 super safe C3 borderline G1 players, and we beat them pretty bad. So I'm feeling really good about the builds, and next season for sure. I mean, we'll see what happens to Joe Gunn, but next season I'm feeling like I'll be in really good shape. I can tweak these builds, and I can aggressively try to climb G1. I feel like if someone wanted to play 30 wings a day on this account, I think they could get G1. Maybe. All right, so let's take a look at the builds. This is where it's going to get super technical and crazy. I guess what we can do is let's look at them in game, and then we'll look at the former builds, where I came from and why I switched them, right? So we'll go in order of importance. Here's Joe Gunn. He's a first pick, but like things like this rune is not very good. It's a blue rune that's not fully grinded, and it's just not great. But then we got runes like this that are broken set that are just like amazing, right? Even that, room for improvement. But then that one, fantastic. No room to improve. It's a 5-star, and it's gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And then we're on attack, which is like but it's one of my event runes. It's just the fastest thing I have in that slot that he can get. Here are the artifacts. We've got skill 3 accuracy, skill 2 accuracy at 4. Would like that higher because his overall accuracy is 70, so his trap accuracy is 74. And his skill 3 is 83, so not too bad. So that's that. This is damage received and speed increasing effect. You want speed increasing effect on him because it extends the length of your scroll. The faster he is, the longer they're scrolled. So in theory, I would have speed increasing effect on both along with accuracy. So that's Joe Gunn. Moore is my speediest little boy, and he's not that fast. He's 309. But for this account to be able to put, a 309 and a 300, not too bad. And I've got enough threats that getting outsped is not as devastating as it could be. Like, they've got other issues other than speed to deal with for me. Like, I'm not a pure speed draft. I'm a problem draft, right? So here are the runes. 23 could be improved. This one's pretty good, but also needs to be improved. Like that 4 crit, just could be better. My best Swift rune, probably. It's a 26, and I think it's at 4, right? I think so. Yeah. So could be better, but man, getting +5s is just brutal. My best rune on my account, this is my 1 quad roll speed. 27 is that's pretty good, and a +6 is really quite good. So the best rune on my account. This one also really quite good. I've got a couple of 28s in this slot, but that's a nice one. And then here's my little flat rune that I really like because it's good. Rolled a perfect 24 for flat rune. Okay, we've got him on accuracy, additional damage, and then over here it's a little bit of additional damage times everything. Damage received from dark, that needs to be additional damage from HP or damage dealt on fire or something like that. So that needs to be fixed, but that's him. Just additional damage, pretty much. All right, so now comes the fun ones. So here's the Yanhong. 291 Violent. 291 on Violent. Pretty happy with that. And there's room to improve. Her overall stat base is really, really nice right now. And I owe that all to my event rune, which I'll show you here in a second. But we've got the crit-ish. 50% crit's pretty good. Crit damage is low because we're putting those rolls everywhere else but crit damage. We're putting those rolls into defense, into HP, into crit, into speed. But, 33k HP, 14k, 1400 defense, no attack, basically. But I really like this build. So this is my best slot one. And again, room for improvement, right? A 20 is not game-breaking, A 9 gem with a 5 grind, that's not very good. So we've got room there. This one also, what a trash rune. It needs to be better, but I don't have better right now. So I think I don't know. I think it's a hero that rolled minimum into 18, but I need that crit, so that's what she gets. Now here's a good one. Very nice. This one, very, very nice. Man, I've tried to roll this to a 5 a couple times, and it's just not doing it, but every single speed helps on her, and I can pick up 1, 2. This one, I think, can get 1 faster, so I can pick up 3 speed just from her current rune set. So she can go up to 294 just from her current rune set. So another good rune here. I mean, it's just everything she wants, literally. HP, defense, speed, crit rate, done. The only thing that could be better is if the resist was accuracy, the innate, but, Where she can really improve is I'm farming giants all the time. Trust me, I farm giants all the time. If I could find a blade rune to pair with the other blade rune, I'd be in such good shape, because I'd pick up 12 crit immediately. I could take those crit rolls, still be around 50, maybe a little higher, take those crit rolls, put them into HP, defense, but then I still need the triple roll speed. So I need a triple roll speed blade rune that's like a high triple roll, like a 23, 24. Don't have one. Just don't. But if I have one of those, that'd be great. She'd be that much better. So this is the rune that is just, what do you say? It's everything you want. It was my event rune. It's perfect. You know, I put a +5 speed on it. I rolled a 13 HP gem with a +9. This rune's done. In theory, we'll get a little bit better there, but this is just done. It's just perfection. And it was either going to be on her or Han. These stats, I think, are a little bit stronger on her because it's literally everything she wants. And it's awesome. So here's her artifacts. I really like her artifacts too. So this is great. It's +15% recovery on her 3, which is what she's got. +10 crit damage on her 2, which is where she does her damage. Additional damage from speed. That's a roll into that. So it's 2 rolls into recovery, 1 into crit damage, and 1 into speed for a legend rune. And then we re-rolled the 4th line into speed proportional to lost HP, 15%. I mean, could be better, but it's fine. You know, she's at 50%. If she's at 50% HP, she's got +7 speed, is how I interpret that. So she's now at 300 speed. If she's almost dead, she's, you know, 291, 301, like she's at 306 speed. Like she's doing great. So I don't know. Could be better, but that's where we're at there. Over here, damage received from light, meh. I mean, there's a lot of light monsters out there in RTA, but it's the additional damage from speed, the additional damage HP, and then again, speed proportional to lost HP. I think the combo of those two is nice. So we're at 18 and 15, so 33% speed proportional to lost HP. When she's at 50%, she's at +15 speed. You know what I mean? Like, I think that works, especially when her being my only violent monster in most situations. Okay, that's a lot about Yan Hong. It doesn't apply to most people, but I just want to talk through my thought process, right? All right, here's the Han. He's at 250 right on the dot. 100% crit, because we're done with missing crits. He needs it. 100% crit. Crit damage doesn't really matter, but it's 137. Good attack, good HP, good defense in my mind. Like, what else do you want? Like, I think he's got everything he needs. A little bit of accuracy. Could be better, but that's how it is. Runes, just a beautiful rune that rolled great. Another nice one. My goodness. I don't want to give it a +4, though, because I'm saving those to get my Swift sets better. So I need, like, a blue speed. Also, yeah, I need, like, a blue there, because he's fine. 250 is fine, but, yeah, that rune. This rune is really, really nice. I mean, the rolls are kind of everything you want. It's, 3 into crit and 1 into HP, and then we've got a little innate there. Crit damage, this one, again, could get a little better, but it's 4 grindables, which is just beautiful for a legend rune. And the accuracy innate, like, nice. Over here, just a silly rune. Look at this rune. Okay, like, before, I shouldn't have shown you that first. This rune's perfect as it is. 20, 26, 21, 18. 4 grindables, crazy speed, a nice little gem into HP. But then look at the speed. It's only +3. It's only +3. So it's 3 rolls into speed and 1 okay roll into attack. But this thing could get a 6 on it. It could be sitting at 29 speed along with everything else. So just waiting for a drop. And then this is another rune that's just a staple in my account. The 3 max rolls into crit rate. It's the same as a 24 speed rune. But it's on HP, you know? It's got a roll into speed, which is great. Wish that rolls a little higher, but what are you going to do? I have not fixed this yet. It's probably going to become defense. But 8 accuracy is fine for now. And I don't know. I just haven't fixed it yet. All right. Here's his artifacts. 9 single target combined with 13 single target over here. So what was 137 is now 37, 47, 50, and 59 crit damage because of the single target. And then we've got crit damage on 1, crit damage on 2, accuracy on 3. And then over here we got damage received, down, damage dealt on wind, up. So yeah, worked really, really great. Sorry, this is really like belabored, but I think it's interesting, so I'm just sharing. Okay, let's look at some other units really quickly. The Chung Pung kind of gets not drafted a lot, which is totally like a first world problem in that Chung Pung is a lot of people's first pick, and he's like my 5th. Maybe 6th, just because I have other options that do more than him, I think. But he's on a really good violent set. I like that he gets the accuracy, because it helps my whole team. So that's Chung Pung. Here's Ganny. 294, because I want him to follow my strippers, and he's on Swift. Would love to... He can't go faster, though, or he'll get in front of them because of his base speed. But I would love to put him on Violent, and I think it's possible to put him fast on Violent, but I want him to go right after my strippers. So he's on Swift for now. So that's Ganny. Here's Diana. Violent Will. Antares, don't really use. Leo. don't really use. I mean, look at that. That's a problem, right? We can work on that. Sierra, I definitely do use. 234. This is, I think, a pretty well-built Sierra. We'll have to look at the stats on it, but got a little bit of everything. Not on will, because apparently I don't do that. And, additional damage by speed, skill 2 accuracy, additional damage, bomb damage, single target crit damage. Like, nice little artifact for her. Pisama on full broken, just do a bunch of damage and take speed. Triton I use occasionally. Built to go fast, 270, follows up. I don't know. Triton's runes are not great. Or his artifacts aren't really useful. I've got this rune, don't really use it. Got this rune. He's fast for some reason, don't really use it. She's super tanky, which is probably not great. Verd I do use. He's just a huge triple revenge tank. Huge. Artifacts. Everything is about tanking. Because if I need him, I'm responding to things like Savannah. Chung Pung, that sort of thing. And I need him to survive because they want him dead. I need him alive. And I have the Joe gun, so I don't feel like I need to go revenge will. Savannah, I don't use that much. I probably should. She's really good, but I just don't find her as impactful as my LDs. It's crazy I have her, but she didn't get drafted that much. Here's the new Ileana. This was not runed with the optimizer. I just threw fast runes on her. I can't wait for Special League. I cannot wait. You have no idea. It's going to be great. She's going to be there. That's all I'll say. She's going to be there. She will be present. The Icarus, I've drafted a couple times, just built super tanky on broken. Obviously not broken would be better, but this is what we got. Okay, Juno, not built. Gosh. Juno was like my bread and butter last season, and she's gone from that to not built. Like, the series of summons I summoned like 9 new premium Nat 5s in like a month. I mean, they're on the channel. Like, changed my account. Changed my desire to play Mystery Hunt. This account's just perfect now, and Mystery Hunt is not. So that's pretty much everything I use. I'm looking over the thing here. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, so to the optimizer. These are my old builds, and so I just showed you my new builds. These are my old builds. So the Yanhong used to be on 3/16 Swift, low efficiency. The Han used to be on Violent. I don't know. I guess you can't see it there, but he's on Violent. 230 speed, so much slower. Not as much damage, not as much tankiness, but Violent. And it just didn't work as well, so he's off it. The Jogun, I don't know if I even had Jogun ruined. Oh, I sure did. Look at that. 279. I think I had him on Despair with a little bit of damage to follow up the More. I don't know. That was a mistake. More. And then the More was on the same Swift build. So the Jogun, the main change is the Jogun has moved up speed-wise to be another quick option. And the Yanhong has lost some speed, but also is a nice boost option at 291. Let's see. Let's check the Ganny, because I think the Ganny changed quite a bit. Ganny. Yeah, so the Ganny used to be on 241 Violent. Not very useful if they cut in between your Stripper and your Ganny, so that's why you get boosted up. So, whew, I know that was a lot, but this season's been really great. I've been enjoying it. I've been playing with a renewed interest in Keyflower. It's my RTA main and the only account I really farm on. So Mr. N's getting left behind a little bit. I'm just kind of, Mr. N's chilling. He's summoning. The account is summoning. When the meta changes or the account is in line with the meta, I'll have a better shot, because I don't have any LDs to change up the meta. I have to deal with the meta every single time, and not having more Jogun, Chung Pung makes it really, really tough to win. This is a very unit-dependent meta, I would say. Like, they're always kind of unit-dependent, but this is extremely unit-dependent, and I think the difference between having one of those three and having all of those three is very, very high. Because if you can't break those up, it's like getting Ganny Hathord, except it's more effective, I guess. If they get all three of those, you're in big trouble. So that's kind of what's been going on. Okay, we're going to cut it off. It's been long. I'll put in a timestamp so you can see what you want to see. And thanks everybody for watching and supporting the channel. See y'all next time.